Hey, welcome back to Band Basics. All right, we're continuing with the flute. All right, if you watched the last video on the head joint, hopefully you're able to get a sound. You're able to kind of get that flute up to your mouth without having to roll it and place it. That's the goal. All right, so want to try to get some decent habits going and not harm you too much. So we'll go from there. Hey, let's put the flute together. So you have the body of the flute, the main body. You have the foot joint and the head joint sitting over there in the chair, and I'll get to that in a second. So you're going to want to line up this ball at the end of the rod here with about the middle of this key. I'm going to try to scoot in just a little bit. Tend to have the students hold it here, kind of hold it here. When you put it on, a little wiggle to get it going, and just small twists as you're kind of pushing it in. Now, depending on the size of your hands, this is going to alter a little bit, all right? My fingers are pretty big. I can, pretty long. I tend to put it about like that. Now, if your hands are different size and you're having trouble reaching that, I usually tell my students to kind of start somewhere, that little ball end, around the middle of that key right there, and then we can adjust depending on how they go. All right, I'm going to put mine back just a little bit. Grab my head joint. Now the head joint, most head joints will have a different color here, kind of the unfinished brass color. If your head joint goes silver all the way down, that's okay. Sometimes they'll have a little line, just kind of give you a reference. Or if you look real carefully, you'll see that it's actually a couple different colors, and as you use the flute, this area will wear a little bit. All right, so I'm going to kind of put it in. Same thing, twist. And I usually like to start somewhere around there. What this does is it adjusts the intonation of your flute. Sometimes it'll be in a little farther, sometimes it might be out a little farther, but you want to usually not have it shoved all the way in. All right? The next thing I'm going to kind of swing around here is you need to look down the keys. Can you see the keys here? So the line, oh, there we go. Find the lens. The line of keys, and then lined up with this. And you can tell the flute here, it's a little twisted that way. So if you're looking down, you want to line the tone hole here up with the keys. Now again, depending on how you play, your size, your reach, this angle will adjust a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty much right there, and it's a good place to start. If you start getting a little more intermediate advanced and you get studying with a private teacher, he or she will help you out with some more intermediate or advanced adjustments as we go. All right, so now we're going to try to make a sound without putting any, I'm going to lower this just a little bit, there we go. Without putting any fingers on, we're just going to kind of like play a glorified head joint here. So you can kind of hold it here. You can kind of hold it here where your fingers would go anyway and reach out. Now for a 4th grader that I teach, or even a 5th grader or a small 6th grader, that's going to feel like you're reaching way out here. So getting in front of a mirror or a little monitor, kind of like this, is good. All right, so eventually you want to bring it up to your lip. If you're having trouble with that, lean it in. Feel that tone hole right in the middle of your lips. Eventually you're not going to want to do that. Roll it back. You see how I kind of roll? All right, lip. Now if the air is not steady, or if you don't get a flute sound, it sounds something like this. Couple things. Make sure your lips aren't going. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. All right? You want to go M or 2. All right? Flute. Make an adjustment. I'm rolling it in and out, but very small amounts. All right? Here it goes. Try to get your sound to go for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. What's going to happen is you're going to get lightheaded. You're going to have to stop. No passing out, all right? So here we go. Sound, 2, ready. Do it again, and ready, and go. Off. You get a metronome click or something to play along with. Try to hold that out for 2, 3, 4 seconds, and then rest for 2, 3, 4 seconds. Take a big breath out of your mouth, and do it again. You do that 4 times in a row. You're probably going to get lightheaded at first. Eventually that'll go away. Hope that helped. We'll see you soon.